Mm.
Hello, welcome to Academy Voices Live. We've got a very intriguing and thought-provoking show today. Hopefully, we're going to see where this rabbit hole takes us. But welcome. It's good to see everybody. My name, of course, is Anthony.
I'm Gabby.
And I'm Angela.
Yes. And we're voice actors. I don't know why. I don't know why we have to say I always I can't remember. I was doing the show one time way back, or I was doing things and people were like, "You don't ever tell us your name. You should tell us your name." So I just got in this habit of telling people like, "Hey, my name's Anthony." So without a shadow of a doubt what our names are. Hello everybody. Good to have you. So, Thursdays are days we've talked about Academy Voices and all that jazz, audiobooks and all that jazz. And today we have a very interesting topic. Gabby, why don't you start us off, because Gabby shared this article with us, and listen, when you're chiming in, you're in the chat, please, leave thoughts, comments, or questions about this as we go along, because I think this discussion is just going to get broader as we go. So go ahead, Gabby.
And
tell
it's
us
important.
what you sent.
So, Christopher Nolan's blockbuster adaptation of The Odyssey is forthcoming. I think it's coming out towards the end of July. It's a big deal. Everybody's, talking about it. And we actually have at Academy Voices a narrator who is currently a human person, in the process of narrating the books.
Yes.
And we're breaking them up into volumes so that they can be enjoyed individually and then also as a complete work. And of course, this is all based on Homer's work, and it's arguably the most epic story ever told, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that narrator actually sent me a link that a friend of his sent to him, saying that in advance of the film, even though it has no correlation with the film, 11 Labs is creating, or has already created, The Odyssey, featuring Sir Michael Caine, who is no longer with us. He has been gone for a bit. And so they're getting ready to release him narrating
his
this
AI,
epic saga.
his AI voice.
An AI version of him, yes. And it's startling for a number of reasons. Of course, it immediately opened up the conversation between the three of us of, was this authorized? Who authorized this? Was it Michael Caine himself? Was it his estate? How did this come to be? It's looking like, according to the Variety article anyway, that Michael Caine authorized this prior to his passing, and that he licensed his voice to 11 Labs. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And he has not been gone very long.
No, it's only been about a year.
Let's see. He passed away in 2023.
Okay, right.
So yeah.
So all right. So and it's not just Michael Caine. I mean, we've seen a lot of, I think it especially stemmed back from when SAG-AFTRA and a bunch of people went on strike, right? And part of whatever deal they cut, or however the uppers, because I think the people in the upper levels of the organization got sweet deals, that they made some deals with 11 Labs for it to be ethically, I don't know what they were calling it, ethical AI, or whatever whatever term you want to use. Ben. So because of that, there has been actors, very famous actors, right, who have licensed their likeness, their voice and stuff to 11 Labs.
But there are others who haven't, and this is an interesting thing. Like, so rights holders, there is a version of The Wonderful Wizard of Oz that has been narrated by Judy Garland, and this has all been done through AI, and Judy Garland doesn't even own the rights to Judy Garland, because these have all been purchased. Like Hasbro owns some of this intellectual property, as do the major studios and networks, which is just, I don't know, it's
Well, if
kind
you
of
think about it,
ick.
it's like Michael Jackson's estate owns the Beatles
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah. But then they're turning around and, doing
So
what
how
they
do we
want with
feel?
it.
So okay, so we've kind of laid out the thing here. So Angela, what do you think? How do you feel about this? And what do you think this has? Then we can kind of talk about what broader implications does this have for us?
Mm,
This immediately brings to mind the Black Mirror episode Everyone Hates Joan. Have either of you guys seen that? It
yes.
I've not seen that one.
highlights the repercussions of selling your likeness, voice, image
Yeah.
to anyone other than yourself to be used in any which way that they choose. It's just icky.
It
It's
is.
icky. I don't care. So, yes. See,
Yeah.
people have seen it, so definitely watch that, especially if, in this day and age, it's cautionary tale. But anyway, this whole thing just, I don't. So, is his estate getting the money from
Well,
this,
that's what
or
that. Can you turn up your mic a little bit too, Angela? I'm trying to.
I
oh,
would
I
is it low?
assume.
I think that because that was it just says in this that he uh sold. It doesn't. I was trying to look and see if it said like he sold rights, or are they paying him? Because isn't 11 Labs something where they will pay you royalties?
I
Isn't there
believe
some of
so.
them where they pay you royalties on it? And I
Mm,
will have to say, I always thought that if there was a point where, but see, I could never trust it. You know what I'm saying? Like, do you know how they've come out with your own AI stuff now? Have you seen that, where your own towers, where you have your own AI and it's like
Mm-hmm.
linked to directly like in your server, your own stuff,
Yeah.
right? Well, I mean, you know what I mean? Like I early on, I was like, well, that would be kind of cool if we had our own version of our stuff and we licensed, like it was not open for other people to use unless they paid us like you know what I mean? Because what if
mm,
it's like 2 a.m. and you're sleeping and someone could pay you, right? But I never could trust the
mm.
idea that people would not be able to take that and use that voice for some sort of,
Nefarious.
repurposing or
Yeah.
something.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then on top of that, as soon as Fiverr had come out and they were doing a trial run, I think Fiverr ended up quitting it because there was a lot of people who were taking those things. And because what you do is you type in what you wanted it to say, and people were having people say all kinds of horrific things. You know what I mean? And you know what I mean? Because how can you stop it from saying what you wanted to say? You could have someone say something completely horrible
Yeah.
in
Mm-hmm.
your voice. You know what I mean? So I do think that is
It becomes even a little more gross when you dive further into the article, because it goes so far as to say that 11 Labs even used AI to create a score for the book. So they've created a music score and a soundtrack to go with this. And it's apparently not just Kane. Michael Caine is the primary narrator, but apparently there's about 20 other characters that have been cast. I love that they're actually using the term casting from their AI data bank to complete this. It's wild.
So what do you think there's, I mean, but right, so people are talking about James Earl Jones. I mean, I think
Mhm,
there's a lot more, and there's a lot of voice actors who have done this,
mhm.
where they've licensed their
Yep.
voice and stuff to 11 Labs and other places. So my question to you is, what do you? I mean, I think we've seen, or we're seeing, there is a lot of, clearly there's people who are angry. We all understand that
Yeah.
because we're all frustrated with this. But what I've also been seeing is people going like, we've got to stick together, right? Because I think people are going after each other. And like, even when things are not, do you remember when we were like told your voice sounds robotic?
Mm-hmm.
And it was like before AI, right? Just because of your delivery, or it might
Mhm,
not be as
mhm.
conversational. You know what I mean? But I think it's dangerous. It causes also like fractures in our community, because then people start blaming other people. People are mad at other people when it's not warranted. It might be
Yeah.
warranted, might not be. I mean, I see it. Poor authors. I see it. I'm seeing it all. They're really, people are blaming someone that's an AI. It's like, no, it isn't. I wrote it. And like, And I think Angela, you have really good points about AI, right? Is because, and we've said this before, all of us, right? Where do you think AI comes from? It's from us. It's modeled after us. So in the end, it's trying its best to sound like us.
Yeah.
So you know what I mean? So if you write or you say something, so I don't know. What do you guys think about that? I mean, where do you think we're going with this? I mean, where do you think? I mean, what do you think about that? Like, where how far could it go? I mean, you know.
That's a great question, man. Oh, and I'm looking up because a bunch of people are saying that they think that they thought he was still alive, and I think he might be. I think what I misunderstood is that
I thought he died.
Years active. It looks like, it looks like he is still alive. He just retired from acting in 2023 because he is 94 years old. So I believe he is still alive. Yep.
Wow. Okay. So he's still alive. He's 93.
Yeah. And so, but what's fascinating about this, and so he is quoted in the article. I mean, it's just, I don't understand. Part of me doesn't understand. I mean, okay, he's retired, but we all know that voice acting is not nearly as strenuous as on camera. So it kind of begs the question of why wouldn't he just narrate this?
Well, I mean, maybe at 93, that's not something he wants to do.
Yeah, he's retired. Let him retire.
Yeah, I do. I can see. I mean, like if you were presented, and I guess in the end, right, it kind of goes back to, was it about, being paid? You know what I mean? Was it about, feeling like after you're dead, people are still going to hear, like people can still hear your voice or create things? Or, you know what I mean? Are you a person who's going to be like, no, I'm going to fight for the industry?
Yeah.
But I mean, let's be honest. There is nothing. I mean, I hate to say it, but what are we fight at this point? What are we actually fighting for other than us? Like for example, Academy Voices. I mean, besides we have a variety of goals, but one of the main goals and purposes of it is to document human created content, right? Like all of the literature, the things that we do, document it and use it, document it by real humans documenting it, right? Because there's going to be a day, and it's here now, or it's coming, where there's going to be way more, AI content. We might already be getting close to that, right? Where there's human content. And, so then it becomes down to, we don't look at them separately. We look at who has a better performance.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that's because for a while, AI is always like, oh, that sucked. It's not as good as human. But how close are we to some of it being as good, being right up to humans? And then you say, okay, well, I just had a better performance than everybody else. Because no matter what, they're competitors.
Right.
I don't know. What do you guys think about that?
Yeah. I mean, there's just so many pieces to this. Like I look at, the body of work and I go, they're going to put out a decent product, but it's because they're putting just as much time and energy and effort into this as if he had narrated the book himself. So it's just going in on the post-production end to create this superior AI product. But, when we compare that to what I will call pedestrian AI, voice application, yeah, those are horrible. I mean, I'm taking a class right now that is riddled with AI course material, and it's unlistenable. It's so bad. I've actually reached out to the creators to say, would you like me to fix this for you? Because it's just so terrible. But in this case, it's part of me wonders how much smoke and mirror is going into what AI Labs create, or 11 Labs creates, because they want so badly for people to believe in and buy into this product of theirs. And I don't know. I don't know the answer to that, but I do think that it's not as cut and dry as everyone thinks. It's not just simply that you can type in a prompt and, you know, it spits out Michael Caine's voice. I just don't believe that.
Yeah, ultimately, it's an algorithm.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to give you what you ask for, but it's never it's never going to be us. And we've talked about actors in the past, to touch on what you said earlier. It's more important than ever to make sure that you are full send into everything that you do in terms of, you know, especially for the new people that who are just, when they come into it, they just want to be monotone. They're just reading the words, but it's so much more than that. You have to allow yourself to go there and feel those emotions and emote.
Well, and there's something else too I want to point out, and I think this is something like Ryan had put there. One thing I can say creates a question in the mind is some of us who are getting started about it, we can legitimately build build full-time careers when competing for work against so AI. I listen, I think that, and if you, in the broader acting world in general, right? If you have been to a casting, and you sat through hundreds of auditions, you start to realize something. And I'm not, I hate to say it. Now, Gabby could talk about this with all of you right now. After a while, and I'm not putting any of us down, and the three of us here as well, but after a while, you start to realize that there are a lot of great voice actors, and you could probably pick a lot of different ones. I mean, right? Like if one is not available, there's an army of other voice actors who are just as good, might be better. And so I think so then how have we in the past, right? Gotten, or how have people received jobs? How have people gotten, bookings and things, when you could say, all things being equal, there are 20 other people who are just as good. And again, I'm not being mean to anybody, or better. There are people out there that are so much better than me. But if I got a job over them, why did that happen? And how does that correlate with us going against AI? Well, if you think about it, there's all sorts of things. And I think I wrote an article yesterday. I published it on LinkedIn about this very thing of building relationships. One thing that it will never be able to do, again, unless
That's true.
Terminator takes over and it becomes
sentient.
Sentient, right? Is it's not going to be able to build a relationship with you. All right. And, be able to have that camaraderie. So I think that, oh my God, that's the newest. That's our newest cat.
Well, they
won't ever stop. Anyways, right? But you see what I mean?
To go with what you're saying, it will never be able to talk to the author, to talk to the writer and say, what do you want to capture here? Right? What are we aiming for? But that's impossible. And I also can't help but think, like, what would Homer say about this? This is nuts, right? This is one of the most epic stories ever told. This is a literary masterpiece, and we're giving it to a machine.
Well, and what's sad is what they'll do is, and I said this, again, I learned this lesson from Fiverr. Whatever someone pushes to the front, it's going to get sold.
Yep.
I mean, if you drive a whole bunch of traffic to somewhere and it's the front, so if they take that thing and they put it right in the front and they market it and they sell it, it's going to get sold.
Yeah.
People are going to buy it just because they're going to try it out.
Yeah.
But if they did that with a real human voice, that one would get sold. So like, I think then it goes back to marketing. And that's a whole nother thing about us. And I do think, though, what we do have the power of now is that we are, the whole AI versus human thing.
Yeah.
And so that does give, us a leg up in that sense. Hey, we are human,
Right.
we're doing this. You want a human voice. Yeah.
I think this is something that we learned during the times of COVID, when we were all segregated and kept apart, and we were missing that human connection. It's the same thing that's going to happen with this. Is that, people are going to go, ooh, this is cool. I could put in whatever I want, get whatever I want. But then they go, okay, well, like you said, Gabby, there's no interaction, there's no feedback, there's no relationship, there's no subtle changes of anything. I can't have a conversation with someone to get exactly what I'm looking for. I'm just going to get whatever the algorithm spits out.
I think Caesar's right on about what Homer would say.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
I do find one thing really interesting. And I mean, of course, part of this is they're trying to capitalize, and I get that. But, a rep from 11 Labs was quoted as saying in this article, we're not just going to do AI just to do AI. Bullshit. That's your model. That's exactly what of course you're going to do AI just for the sake of doing AI. Right now, that's exactly what you're doing, because you've got this product, and it's like Anthony said, you're pushing it forward, and you're literally just here kind of going, looky what we can do.
Yeah.
And that's all it is. There's no real reason for it. Does that make sense? Like why, other than to have a cash grab?
Yep.
Well, and I do think though that I in all fairness, and I should do it just out of research. We should really look. I wonder what are the terms that 11 Labs offers. I wonder what it is, because I thought that what they've done is if you get hired or you get a job, they do pay you something. You get paid for every time you do a job.
Yeah, there is a structure set up for residuals, and yeah, that's my understanding as well.
So, I mean, here's the thing is it another thing too? Because we started off by saying about Kane doing, and them having him do this, is it also bothering us that these people who might have been partially icons or idols of ours or actors who we really felt strongly about, almost a betrayal, a feeling of betrayal?
Believe, yes. I love Michael Caine. This gives me pause. Yeah. This is sad.
It would be interesting to hear what he what was the reasoning behind, you know what I mean? But in his mind, he's like, I don't care. I'm going to be dead in a while. I mean, I hate to say that. I'm old. Do I, because in the end, is it, this will, maybe my estate, my heirs will be able to get more, but I would think I don't know though. I mean, who knows what one person's, what their feelings are about something. I don't know.
I think there is a lot of movement right now in Hollywood for this, and a lot of effort is being put into approaching A-listers and approaching their management and their teams to try to get them to agree to this sort of thing. And I feel like one of two things is happening. Either the majority are rejecting it and saying, no, I want no part of this, or they're agreeing to it, and it's very quietly happening under the radar, and we are none the wiser. Yeah.
Well, because in the end, and I can't remember, was it we had, and this would actually be an interesting session. I think we talked about it on here, Gab, before, but the history of acting, the progression of acting in our country, in the US, right? And how it literally changed from the actors themselves, who owned the troops, who owned the stages and the places, who owned the work,
right,
to capitalism, or whatever you want to call it, money, where bigger people with investments started buying these things, paying, say, hey, we'll pay you X amount to do that, and actors and creatives slowly gave up all of those rights to where now, you know what I mean, we used to be owners of it. Now a lot of times we're just paid employees or contractors of it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I do think that's that's where, to me, this, it's like a crossroads again of where are we, are we going to own this? Are we not? And I think that's where us doing what we're doing at Academy Voices, regardless of what anyone says, unless they close the marketplace. So all these people out here wondering, I know there's people wondering, is this the right time? Can I do this? Is this going to be, guys, unless someone closes the marketplace to us,
Right.
then there's always opportunities and a chance for you to build your dreams.
But more even to better, I mean, to better pinpoint it, though, it's what I was saying earlier. The vast majority of AI products that are readily available and easily accessible and affordable are garbage. So that's what most authors can afford if they were going to utilize an AI. So for them, it's a no-brainer because they don't want that, right? They don't want the product to suffer for it. So of course, they're still going to work with a real narrator. Yeah.
We did have suppose that I'm still not a year into narrating video, but I was wondering, is there an argument or issue with people who can mimic celebrities? I mean, and it's funny because impersonators, right, were people who went and but they didn't, but the impersonators never were creating, not that I know of. Maybe they it was more of like a comedy or if they got paid, but they were never necessarily creating all these new works of other people's voices and saying they were their voices.
Yeah. I mean, sound-alikes and voice matching has been happening for eons in the movie industry, and it's really, really common. I get requests all the time for sound-alike and stand-in stuff for various film and TV projects, and it's really straightforward. It's usually something that needed a dub over, an AR, an ADR, and the actor is not available, so the studio brings in a sound-alike to plug those holes in the dialogue, and the actor is well aware. The actor knows full well that that's taking place. Yeah, it's pretty common, but it's just something that happens. There's no issue there, but I think that the problem would be, in that case, it's a one-to-one match for a product that the actor has signed off to. Now, where impersonators and that sort of stuff get in trouble is when you have, like somebody's local tire shop that wants to do, an impersonation of a celebrity to sell something, and that celebrity is still alive. That's where it gets problematic. You could potentially be sued.
Yeah, I think in the end, the reality of it is that no matter what we do, we still want, and I know it sucks, but I am still for each and every one of us making our own individual decisions about what we're going to do with our business.
Yeah.
And if your decision is to sell your likeness or to do those things, that's your decision in the end, right? And I respect that. I've always said I won't ever do, because I don't want everyone ever to have my voice, but that's my opinion. And but again, I think in the end, if you're worried or concerned, don't be, because as long as there's a marketplace for us. And remember, the good thing about this is if someone shuts something down, we'll just create another one, just like we did with Academy Voices. Right? We'll make another. I mean, there will always be people out there.
We cannot be stopped.
Right. You can't. I mean, you're not going to be stopped. So yeah, I think, but this is clearly, though, a massive thing that is, on all of our minds.
Oh yeah.
So what do you guys think about, I mean, do you think there'll ever be a day where it will be, and it will end up being, I mean, I hate to say it, but one day it will be more acceptable because people who are younger will end up growing up with it? People who will, you know what I mean? They'll think it's cool. They won't ever think it's wrong. Do you know what I mean? Like, I wonder if we go back in time and see what people thought about cars and horses, and you know what I mean? And like, like big changes in our world. You know, if people are like, that's the devil. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, you wonder about that.
I think that's already happening.
It is.
With the younger generation, they're growing up hearing this, so they don't see it as different.
Yeah. But I do think there's pushback. I do think there's a lot of people that are saying, no, we don't want this.
That's good.
Yeah.
The applications and uses for everything AI is far outpacing any kind of regulation for it. So it's coming to a head. Maybe it's not. Maybe there's still a lot more to come before we can do much about it.
Well, it's one of the reasons why, we have to be aware of what's happening in our local governments and legislation for AI on a state level, on a government level. I mean, yeah, it's important that people be aware and that they are doing their best to have a voice in this, because if we don't, it's going to be a problem for the future.
Where is Sarah Connor?
For real. Thank you.
We need her.
I know, but but I'll be honest with you, I still cannot get over, though. I would happily have the car drive me around.
I wouldn't. I wouldn't trust it.
Nope. Oh my God, I would love it.
Nope.
I would love it. I hate driving. Okay.
You know
what I mean?
Okay.
Nope.
And if
all right, so what? Oh God, what was the other Netflix movie? The World from Above or something like that, where all the Teslas were.
Well, wait, but it already happened, guys. Tesla's already.
I'm just saying, everything is hackable. I wouldn't trust anything.
Oh yeah,
that's automated or no way.
But the problem will become. I mean, I guess you could always find. Oh, well, it was Demolition Man or some of the the futuristic movies where everything is just there's nothing left,
right?
Because at some point. Even now, we talked about this here. There's AI built into everything now, and it's going to be continue to build into it. But you could still buy like a '67 Chevy. You can still buy things, right, that don't have those things.
Computers,
unhackable,
right? Yes. The unhackable, the analog.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's right. I mean, and that's true. I think someone said there are taxi drivers. There are, but I mean, there are so many, right? They're already experimenting with all the people. I mean, isn't there places where the delivery people are, or the food delivery stuff is robots now?
They even have semi trucks that are automated now too, electric and automated.
Yeah.
No, thank you.
Yeah.
I don't want to be.
Well, so I think going back to this discussion, there's clearly this is not the end. This is only the beginning. People will, and I do think Caesar had said something about, I posted that, he posted about the paycheck. I mean, in the end, you know what I mean. That's what are either you are trying to, because maybe he's just like, hey, look, I don't have a problem with it. I don't care either way. It's just my voice. You can't tell me what to do with my voice and my stuff. And you're like, I guess you're right.
There were a number of people agreeing and saying that Michael Caine is pretty notorious for just being a cash grab guy, and that he doesn't really care. And that he's even disparaged some of his own projects and saying, sure, the movie was garbage, but look at the house it built. So yeah, but then
Ren
you're going to have others that do not feel that way.
Oh,
where is Leonardo DiCaprio? That's what I want to know. Because Leo would fight this.
Well, I tell you what, Ren, there'll be a time pretty soon where they'll be doing the floors and the laundry.
The comment, Ren said, perhaps at Michael Caine's age, he could have been both fascinated by the technology and the opportunity or illusion of immortality.
Yeah. It's possible.
That's true.
It also could just be a testing ground. I mean, it could be, again, that other celebrities, other people are waiting to determine whether or not they're going to sign on based on the success of a project like this. And
I'd be interested to hear how it sounds.
Oh yeah, they have a sample. There's a sample of it in the article. There sure is. Mm-hmm. You can hear it.
How did you hear it? What is?
I have not clicked play yet. I have not.
All right.
We could do it live.
Can you hear it live? Here, let me see.
I don't know.
Hold on. Y'all hear that?
You might have to share the screen or something first,
Mm.
and then enable share
Okay,
audio.
hold on. Let's see. All right. So if I go to share screen. Oh wait, let's see. I gotta get down here because I think there's a lot of stuff going on.
See,
here.
and we're pretty tech savvy, and we can't even figure this part out. Never mind.
Well,
people are recording.
okay.
AI audiobooks.
All right.
Come on.
So sharing scene. Let me share that. Yeah. Let me share the window. Okay. Here we go. So share. All right. Okay. Can you guys see the window?
Nope. I see nothing.
Present. Did you present to the screen?
I did. Oh, that's why. Here we go.
Aha! Something's happening. Holy moly!
Hey.
It's Inception. There it
There
is.
we go.
Yeah.
Okay. Can you hear that?
No.
No. Did you share the audio also when you clicked share this tab?
Dang it,
It
Anthony.
didn't have a.
It's usually down at the bottom. It's like a toggle, if memory serves, or a clicky button that share the audio as well.
A toggle clicky button.
Once the option comes up and it asks you, what do you want to share? And then you click the
No, I
tab.
know, but it doesn't have like it shares the screen.
Stop the share and try again. I would say, because it's probably right at the start of the share process. Hang on, we'll get this, everybody. We're gonna try.
All right, it says extra camera, video file, image file, share screen.
Mm-hmm.
That's
And
what
it doesn't ask you which tab you want to share?
Well, yeah. When I hit on share screen, it says I can share screen. Some screens let you share audio. Look for the share audio checkbox on the next window.
Aha.
Okay. Well, what? All right. So share screen window. Oh, also share system audio. Okay. Well,
Aha.
could have
Good
said
job.
that
Uno mas.
before. Okay.
That's
All
I
right.
said twice.
All right. Oh, stop. Okay. Here we go.
I'm just saying.
All right. Let's start from the beginning.
Michael Caine's AI generated.
Can you hear that?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's listen to the article. No, go all the way down to the bottom.
Nolan's.
Go scroll all the way down, and there is a sample.
Okay.
Yes.
This is an iHeart podcast. Guaranteed human.
This is Tony from the Real Report with Tony.
Wait, is that?
That's not it.
No, it says there's a. I mean, I'm seeing it on mine. It says, watch a trailer featuring the AI replica of Caine here, and it's a YouTube link. And
Well, is this the? Oh, it's a YouTube link.
Yes.
11 Labs, Michael Caine. All right. Well, maybe I just didn't click on the YouTube link.
Perhaps. Keep scrolling.
Astros,
Keep scrolling. That's where it should be. Yeah, watch a trailer featuring the AI replica. That's so bizarre. It should be right there.
That doesn't seem to be the trailer.
Go up to where it says watch a trailer.
Read
Is that
more
link?
about Michael Caine.
No.
Hmm.
Okay. Oh, there it is. Now it's there. See it? Yeah. That's it.
Long before the world had maps, the greatest warriors of Greece sailed across the sea to a city called Troy. For 10 years, they laid siege to its walls. When the city finally fell, the heroes turned their ships toward home. But the gods of Olympus had their favorites and their grudges. And for many of these men, the journey home became its own kind of war. This is the story of one of those soldiers. His name is Odysseus, king of a small rocky island called Ithaca, and he is the cleverest man alive. When our story begins, he has been gone from home for nearly 20 years. His wife, Penelope, waits in their palace, surrounded by suitors who demand she choose a new husband. His son, Telemachus, born just before the war, has grown into a young man who has never met his father. And Odysseus himself is held captive on a distant island, longing only to see his home again. With that, we present the greatest adventure story ever told. Homer's The Odyssey.
I have so many thoughts.
Okay, well, let me remove that. Okay.
Okay. So the first is if you played that for me, if we had not had this conversation and you played that for me and said, who is this?
Right.
I would not say Michael Caine.
Mm.
I would say it sounds maybe like a younger version of Michael Caine, or like someone who sounds maybe a little bit similar. That does not sound like him to me. The accent, of course, the Cockney accent is such a big deal to to his presence and who he is, but that is very strange.
Well, it was evident it was following the same pattern on each one.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, it followed the same pattern, didn't change. What do you think, Angela?
That's why they had to add the soundtrack. Otherwise, it'd be putting people to sleep. It's just way too flat and monotone.
I noticed that there was a lot of, and I do wonder, and you got to think too, how much effort are they putting into, you know what I mean? All of that. Cause I was thinking about those words. I mean, AI is infamous for getting all those words wrong and all that stuff wrong.
Oh, that's what I mean about how much tweaking and training and things they must have had to. I mean, just getting AI to say Telemachus must have been quite the challenge, I mean, it's no joke. And these they must have, I would hope anyway, that they consulted with some scholars, because many of the ancient Greek names are difficult. But it's funny where everybody keeps saying, soulless, flat, robotic, all of that. I would agree, but also I would say as a modern performance, it's a lot of what we do see, which makes it easier to replicate that sound, because it is so flat to begin with. Like I've long kind of joked that, Kristen Stewart, if she ever wanted to become an AI, she could be completely replaced, because that is the crux of her acting, right? It's just so flat.
Sorry. Get out of my head, Gabby.
I'm sorry, Angela. I live there. I like it. It's homey. It's comfortable. There's coffee. So why would I go anywhere? Yeah. Why would I go anywhere?
I don't know.
Yeah. So, I mean, there are actors that's how they are. But when I don't think of Michael Caine that way. Not at all. So, wow. Interesting. Goodness.
Well, I think that was I do think though that it will be good enough for some people, and who are interested. But in the end, I've always said a great performance will always outshine everything else.
Yeah.
So it will always be our job to better ourselves and better our acting. And also, here's one thing I will say that AI will really struggle with, is that our language is ever changing, and AI has to keep getting new training and new different voices and things. That's why they're still on the hunt nonstop, because it will change. Trends will happen. Our speech patterns will change. Things will, and people will not, and the AI will have old speech patterns, and then it will sound weird again. Right. And then people talk about character voices. Think about that. That's why you don't hear AI doing a lot of character stuff anywhere.
It's an evolution.
Because they would have to train think about all that.
Yeah.
So, there is a limit to things. And I do think that, it will be a continual uphill battle for them. And, remember, we are the ones who can choose whether or not to give our voices. So, yeah. Good. I think it was really good today, you guys. Really good today. And keep at it. And as always, we've got lots of things moving and shaking at Academy Voices. My word.
Oh, yeah.
It has been swamped. We've been super busy.
We're up to 662.
Holy moly.
And we've got, I've been working on contracts and all this stuff with these 80 plus audiobooks on the side. And we've got a couple more. Remember, people, by the way, if you're on Academy Voices and you've not submitted a good headshot or an audiobook demo, okay, and sometimes you might have submitted something and it wasn't good enough. and you got to don't be afraid to reach out to me and ask. But people are being booked straight from our roster.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't publish. I should probably publish more of it. Like, hey, look, we got a booking, just so people know it's happening, because I know people know it's happening. But and by the way, this is important. We do there are more and more now authors being on there that people aren't auditioning for their work. So please get on there and audition, because we're not always able to share all of the auditions because there's just too many of them to share.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like ACX. You got to get in there and look around.
Yeah.
You got to get in there and look.
Yep. It's true.
All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for spending today with us. We appreciate it. Have a wonderful day. Make sure you check out Academy Voices. Join Academy Voices. Be with Academy Voices.
Mm-hmm. We need narrators. Become one with us.
Yes, and don't forget, keep sending authors our way. I've gotten more and more voice actors. Thank you all. We're getting more and more voice actors who contact me and say, hey, this author wants to talk. This author is interested in getting away from ACX. So
yes,
you guys are the lifeblood of everything we're doing. So keep up the great work. We're here for you, and have a wonderful rest of your day. We'll see you all tomorrow. Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye.